Hello YouTube, this is Retta, and I'm continuing with my investigation on what the heck is going on. So we figured out that there's some betrayal going on Trump's camp, and it has to do with Priebus and his son-in-law. So people were like, well, what about Steve Bannon and Pence? Well, funny, I did their birth cards, and Steve Bannon and Mike Pence have the same energy in the same way. So their birth cards are both the high priestess with an emphasis on judgment. So Mike Pence is above board. That's why I believe Steve Bannon helped Donald Trump come up with Mike Pence as the VP, because he has such a high moral standing that he would not do a coup. He is who he is. He's very spiritual. He believes in justice, as right and wrong, and he believes in judgment. What you do on this plane will come to bite you at the pearly gates. So I don't even have to do a reading on Mike Pence, because I feel that there was a reason why they knew that the Republicans couldn't say anything about Trump picking Mike Pence as the VP. Nobody has any dirt on Mike Pence. He's a religious, spiritual man. He has a high moral standard, and that's why he was in place. He's a good guy, so I don't even have to do a reading on Pence. And I think that it was my spirit guides kind of directed me in it. It was Steve Bannon that helped Donald Trump come up with Mike Pence, so they wouldn't have to worry about, there's enough snakes in surrounded them, so they wouldn't have to worry. So Mike Pence is really on the up and up. He is the spiritual, high-standing man that he portrays himself to be. Steve Bannon on the same, which is crazy too. He is also the high priestess, but his emphasis is on judgment. So he believes in a high thing of right and wrong, and that, karma does come around and you have to answer for your sins at the pearly gate. And funny enough, the way that they talk about Steve Bannon from the Democrat and the Liberal Party, they talk about him like a dog, but he has a high moral code. Him and Pence have a high moral code. They believe in justice. They believe in right and wrong. And that's how they live their life. And they're both very spiritual. So I can understand that. I noticed too, I want to do a reading on Steve Bannon and Priebus, their relationship. Because if you remember, I think first of all, I couldn't figure out why Trump would keep Priebus, why he had him as his chief of staff in the first place. I understand it. My spirit guide tried to help me. First, if you remember, Trump was never really the Republican Party. He ran on it, but the Republicans don't like him, and the Democrats don't like him. He would be most likely an independent, but he knew that this is basically a two-party system. So he didn't run on independent. He had to run on either Democrat or Republican, and Hillary was on Democrat, so he went on Republican. So they knew that they were going to have a lot of they're already going to have problems with the Democrats when they get in office, in office. So they wanted to kind of appease some of the Republicans. That's why they put Priebus in there. And Reince Priebus would appease Ted Cruz and Paul Ryan. That, he's close to Trump, he's the chief of staff, he could have a better control on Trump, this and that. Trump, everybody thinks he's stupid. He's not stupid. So he put Priebus in there to be his chief of staff to appease the Republicans. But if you remember from the get-go, he always said the chief of staff was going to be like a two-par system. He's going to have two people, which he put in Steve Bannon as his chief strategist. That is able, Steve Bannon, they made it where it is written on paper that Steve Bannon is to attend all meetings and have, I believe, what's that? Clearance. Confidential clearance. I can't even think of what the word is. And I think it's because I think that Trump would have rather had Steve Bannon as his chief of staff, but he knew nobody would went for that. So really, Steve Bannon is there to keep an eye on Priebus. I think so. I think they both know Priebus is a snake, and I think he's there. And Trump knows that Steve Bannon has his back. So I want to see the relationship, and they don't really have to worry about Mike Pence doing a coup. So I want to do a relationship between Steve Bannon and Priebus and see how that goes, because as I said before, Mike Priebus, Reince Priebus, it has the emperor too, so he wants to be the boss. So I could see him trying to boss his way around Steve Bannon. And Steve is like, hold up, brown cow. I don't think this is happening. So he put it in writing, had Trump put it in writing, so that he has no say in what Steve does. So I think that Trump just put Priebus in there, does not trust him, just put him in there. But somehow Priebus has something on Trump's son-in-law. So let's see this relationship between, because they're all snakes to him. The Republicans don't want Trump, and neither does the Democrats. And people were like, well, maybe, they impeach him and put Pence. I think Pence is if he had any sign of that was going on, Pence is very honest man. I think he wouldn't let them, or have knowledge. They would have to do it behind Mike Pence's back, because he is that spiritual guy. You wouldn't really want him as president. I mean, he's a nice, wonderful guy, but his spirituality and his God rules his life. So he is really that guy. And they put him in there because he can't be blackmailed or anything. So I'm going to put Steve Bannon on this side and Priebus on this side. Okay, what is their relationship? What is Steve and what is their current state of their relationship? The Seven of Rods. They are at battle. So Priebus, they're not letting us know in the public sector what's going on, but it is hell behind closed doors between Trump, Priebus, and Bannon. And I think Steve Bannon is with Trump. My intuition is saying that he has Trump's back, and he's really in place to keep an eye on that snake Priebus, because Priebus has some things, but Trump and Brennan don't know that Steve has the son-in-law, like, blackmailing them. They don't know that yet, but it's constant fighting. It's constant conflict fighting. And on the defense. I think Trump is always on the defense right now. So let's see. Where does Priebus see the relationship with Brennan? The Tower. It's like destructive chaos. Chaos, destruction. Where does Brennan feel the relationship with Priebus? He feels that his relationship with Trump, which is the emperor, which, Priebus is the emperor too, but his emperor really don't count. He's just a chief of staff, but he's a sneaky guy. He wants to be the president. That he feels that he has more pull. He's overlord, basically, the leader of Priebus. So, whereas you see, Priebus says, oh my God, this is a disaster, chaos, burning building, burn it all down. Brennan is like, I have this under control. Where does Priebus think this relationship is going? The Four of Rods. Wow. Well, remember, Priebus had that other victory type card earlier from the other reading. So Priebus thinks he has something, that blackmail or something, is going to lead him on the path to victory. Let's see. What does I want to know what he has on that son-in-law. What does he think this relationship? Where does he hope? He hopes that he keeps the upper hand. Brennan hopes that he keeps the upper hand in regards to Priebus. All right. Where does Priebus see this relationship going? His hope is for victory. People's hope is for victory. Where does he actually think it's going? I'm telling you, look at this. He put in the seeds. He's ready. He's ready to, he's put down his things and he's ready to harvest. And this is the same card. He's ready to harvest. He is ready to harvest. How about you, Brennan? The Temperance. He's trying to balance things. You know, Temperance is trying to balance and cool people's tempers, and he's really trying to, you know, control this guy over here. I don't think they know. Oh, please, someone, if anybody knows Trump or Brennan or Milo or any of them, tell them that Priebus has something on the son-in-law. Blackmailing them, something on the son-in-law to come at Trump. And poor, you know, Brennan here is like, it's a constant balancing act, you know, constant, you know, cooling people's, it's a constant. You see, it's constant, even always trying to keep the, where does the cards think these true relationships are? The Knight of Rods, active, new, Five of Cups. The active, this Knight of Rods came before, remember? Someone is actively being the aggressor. Something new is going to come out. I'm telling you. And it's going to be very devastating. Very heartbreaking. I'm telling you, it's that freaking son-in-law. The Six of Rods. There it goes again. That's the Knight of Rods. It's the Six of Rods. So this guy really, this Priebus really has something on the son-in-law to try to bring down Trump. And here it is. Remember, these are the same cards that came if you watched my other reading. The Six of Rods, the victory, and the burden. Someone please tell Trump's campaign, Brennan, Alex Jones, someone that Priebus, sneaky little rat that he is blackmailing, has something in regards to that son-in-law. The son-in-law needs to speak up because he's been carrying this burden. He did something. He's just going to have to come clean with it and get out of Washington, D.C. Oh, my God. Are they going to find out what Priebus did? The Ace of Swords. The truth is going to come out. The truth is going to come out. So that's the end of this reading. I don't really think one needs to be done. I'm telling you, Mike Pence is like a really holy roller. They can't even blackmail him or anything. No side can. And the Republican Party was happy that he was on. They couldn't really, you know, so you think bad about Mike Pence because there's no dirt on him. He's really a high moral character. So I think they put him in place because he wouldn't do a coup. He wouldn't be working against them. And Brennan is there to keep. I think Trump would rather had Brennan as his chief of staff, but they knew that wasn't going to Brennan as his chief of staff, and they knew that wasn't going to happen. So they just put Priebus there, but Steve is there to keep an eye and be Trump's confidant and keep an eye on this freaking snake, Priebus. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.